Just like with humans, we can take our DNA by taking a clipping of our hair or a cheek swab. With seahorses, their softest body part happens to be their fins. So we will train citizens to properly snip off a small piece of their dorsal fin. It's comparable to your pinky toenail clipping. And that little piece of fin will grow back in about 2 weeks. We'll take that, write down its GPS coordinates, as well as who was able to provide us with that fin clip. And we will extract the DNA and compare its DNA to other seahorses that have been found in North America. Seahorses are really elusive and hard to find. It's like trying to track a needle in a haystack. So knowing how well their populations are doing is still a question that we need to answer. But most of the seahorses that I found are through other citizens who have found them in their nets or crab traps or oyster beds. You'll find them in lagoons and along the coasts. At Florida Tech's Vero Beach Marine Laboratory, we're looking at different ways to farm ornamental fish or pet fishes for the aquarium trade. And by housing them together, one day I was watching them and I noticed that the two species crossed with one another and started courting. So seahorses have a very elaborate courtship behavior. Some people would even say it's romantic. They'll use their tails to hold on to one another. They can rapidly change the color of their skin, as well as promenade, and they'll swim side by side. And thanks to my iPhone, I was able to record an egg exchange between two different species of seahorse, and they produce viable babies. So the way the mating behavior works is the female will deposit her eggs into the pouch where he will hold them there and provide protection. And in a few weeks, he'll give live birth to anywhere between 1 to a couple hundred seahorses during one pregnancy. In the Indian River Lagoon, you can find 3 different species of seahorses. One of them is actually only the size of a paperclip, and that's the dwarf seahorse, while the other 2, which can range about 2 to all the way up to about 6 to 8 inches, is the long snout seahorse and the lined seahorse. Here in the right side is a female, and you can tell because she has no pouch, while over here on the left, this little soft piece of skin is the pouch where the male will carry the eggs. And sometimes their pouch is hard to see, so another indication that you can use to tell if you have a boy or a girl is girls, you're able to see their small anal fin, while boys, they have a pouch that will cover up the anal fin and you can't see it. Typically, seahorses in the wild will use their tails to hitch onto something and camouflage with their environment. But given these animals have been with me since they were born, they have been conditioned to recognize hands and humans as a source of food. So what they're doing right now is normally what you would not see in the wild. But we feed them different types of foods, such as brine shrimp and mysis shrimp, to enrich their diet. Unlike most fishes, seahorses have long snouts, and at the end of their snout they have no teeth. So what they'll do is they use a suction behavior to capture their food. And as far as having no scales, what has happened is they have lost their scales and instead have developed a bony structure and a thin layer of skin over that bony structure. Seahorses use their dorsal fin to propel them forward, while their pectoral fins, which are located on the tops of their heads, that helps them steer left and right. It's been a great flagship species to get people aware of things that are happening in our ocean. And if you want to participate in this project, the more seahorses we're able to find in our lagoon, the better indicator we will have of how well these guys are doing in the population.